Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Wray's Garage, where today is the exciting conclusion to the Aston Martin auction over on Cars and Bids. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of simulcast over on my computer screen here, and then you can just basically watch the human reaction as we see how the bidding goes and just see how these auctions wrap up. We are roughly 24 minutes from the end of that auction. I won't make you sit through all that unless it's just super high octane. 31,350 is the current bid. 23 minutes is the time remaining. Let's go see if there's anything happening in the comments section down here if we need to address that. No, but let's uptick the bidders, give them a little love. So if we go back here, you can see how in the early going, basically these are 7-day auctions. And, you know, the first couple of days was a nice flurry. And then 5 days ago, we got a couple more pieces of action to get it to $30,000. And then the bidding stopped until today. And there were a few questions here and there, a couple of comments along the way. And then the next bid after that one 5 days ago was about an hour ago, so really coming in towards the end. I have watched a handful of auctions wind up, and in fact I think we'll just switch over to one here momentarily. And I think you tend to see a flurry at the end, but it does depend on the car and, you know, time of day and what people are up to. So let's go here. And if you look here at auctions ending soon, you can see this one and then this one. So we've got this 328D X drive here, and then everything else moves into tomorrow. So we are the last car on the lineup today. If you go down to, let's go to auctions, past auctions. So these are today's bids, today's cars. And we started here, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see really good run of sales there. And then this M5 had a reserve, did not meet the reserve. Then another sale, and then another one that didn't meet reserve. And then this little CRX sold for $4,500. So now let's go back to live auctions here. And we'll watch the last minute and see what happens here. So it's at 16:05 with a minute to go. And so keep an eye on this band. This is kind of the countdown clock. You can see there's some bids coming in or that have come in. And now you're starting to see the action. So we'll see here 3 different names, arguably 3 people interested in this car. Let's see if it's a reserve auction. Yeah, it says, I just saw here, I think, yeah, reserve auction. So even if Metal Mariner and 16750 is the number, if that doesn't meet the reserve, then there's technically, it's an unsuccessful auction. Whereas on the no reserve that we're doing on the Aston Martin, higher bidder wins. So a bit more risky from that standpoint. See, so the other thing that I think is important to notice here is you can see how we had this new bid come in. The increments, depending on the value of the car, have to be a minimum. And I'm guessing at this point that's $250. And then you start to see this timer over here kind of wind down from 1 minute. But if a new bid comes in, even though it's the last minute of the auction, it adds a minute. So there's no kind of sniping. You can't just cheeky in there and not have an opportunity, a 1 minute opportunity for that next person to come in and do what they're going to do. So let's see how this shakes up. You can see here there are commenters in here, and this Quicksand Fishes has 1.4K of upvotes, if you will. And so they tend to, this person tends to have some cute comments and watches quite a few auctions. There were a few others. And then these lower numbers over here, they tend to be the people who are kind of brand new and maybe just coming in for this. One of the other things you can do here is if you click on the person, you can see, have they bid on other cars? Do they comment? Are they active? Again, looking at a reputation score of 2 with only 2 upvotes, so far they haven't been a particularly active person. But if we look at someone with a bit more on the upvoting side, so let's look at Quicksand Fishers. They are heavy commenters, but it doesn't look like they've really done any bidding. So they haven't been buying any cars. Here we go, 18 seconds. Let's see if there's anyone else gonna come back in. Oof, and even though the clock ran out there, or it looked like it did, there's this checking period. I guess that's just for clicks or delays or lag. And Adam P here just bid in at 17.8. Let's see what Adam's been doing. Adam is a newer person to Cars and Bids, has bid on 2 cars and has yet to win any, but just did that last minute, made that last minute move here. So let's see if that holds up. So we'll follow down in the comments here and see if this one holds. And it sold. So 2 things happened there. One, that 17.8 bid knocked out all the other bidders. And even though it was a reserve auction, the reserve must have been met because it says sold for 17.8. And if it goes unsold, then it just says bid to, and then the number. In this case, that would be 17.8. But 17.8 met the rigors of this particular seller's car. We are 16 minutes. We are the last car of the day. Hopefully everybody put it on their calendar to come back if they had expressed interest, asked a question. There's a couple of people in here that have asked questions and not bid. Could be because they weren't interested in the end, or it could be that they're waiting to try and not drive the price up on themselves. So we'll see what happens here with 16 minutes left. I would expect more activity here in the next, probably 10 minutes from now or so. So of course, I turn off this camera and some bids happened over here, kind of in quick succession. So we had this bid here move up to 31.9, and then a few people have started to comment. So I think now that last auction is over, there are spectators and then interested parties who migrate to the next auction. There's kind of this cool flow with the auctions terminating in 20-minute increments. Therefore, you're not kind of dealing with a lot of auctions ending at one time, and you can get the full span of attention, I suppose. I'm going to play this video here just because hopefully you find it funny.
Well, all right.
I like this video.
What is that? You bought a new car? Oh no, that's Peter's car.
It's going to be a good one. A Vantage with no reserve. We'll have a bidding war for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We're banking on it, aren't we?
It
Yeah.
said get the popcorn ready.
I don't want comments. I want bids.
Bids. I don't.
All right, new question. Let's see what the question is. If you're going to sell a car on Cars and Bids, be ready for. Out of curiosity, why are you selling this beautiful car? So let's see. What's the good answer here? Well, I have a problem. So as you can see, when people ask questions like that, as opposed to in the general comments section, the questions actually show up in this Q&A, seller Q&A. So you can ask a question differently here, or and I think sometimes in the Q&A section it really is information that any buyer might be interested in knowing. So it tends to get parked over here, whereas the other stuff comes in here. Very quiet. This is where the nerves pick up, that tension builds. People are trying to steal a car for a really good deal. All right, if you're playing at home, what's the number gonna be? We're 352 plus hopefully some overtime from people sniping at one another with the 1 minute volleys back and forth with massive increments. This isn't like the NFL where 2 minutes means 25 minutes. This is 2 minutes plus that baby overtime. Here we go.
Oh my gosh, they've been
32.
higher.
All
They've been
right.
a lot higher.
Now we start celebrating the bids. You got to upvote all the bids.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's see what Fastlane
Yeah.
J has bid on recently. Little no
Oh
wins,
my-
3 cars.
Oh my gosh, that coupe.
Coupe. It's a fancy coupe. That sold. It didn't even sell. Look, it just was bid. All right, let's go back. Can't miss the action.
They couldn't let go of their car. That was a cool car.
All right, 1 minute.
Look at all the
All right,
bids.
here we go. This
Look
is.
at the bid history.
We don't need to right now. We have 1 minute left. We have to keep our eye on the prize. The red line's gonna go down.
Wait, it's gonna start going down in a few seconds.
Yep. We'll see. Is anyone coming? Or is it game over?
At least you got a good deal for it.
Well, let's see what. We're not done yet. We're not done.
You're a few seconds away.
We're not quitting now. We're not quitting now. Fastlane J is not getting away with this for 32,150. Here we go.
Oh my gosh,
Boom!
they did it! They did it!
And over the top.
Oh my gosh, they did a lot more.
Wow. That is a.
Nah. Oh, they bid on your car is the first car they bid on. That's a good thing, right?
All right, let's get back.
It's the first car.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Make that a new word in the dictionary.
Here we go.
Yeah. I like that word.
30 seconds.
No!
It's sold. Did it go? It did it. 33.5. Ah, what a deal. What a deal. So there's the end of the auction. So that wraps it up. I think what I'll do next is, I'll stick around here and we'll watch the dying comments of the cars and bids and as another day of bidding ends. And then obviously there's the logistics of getting the car set up, shipped out, and all the other moving parts of that. So we'll do that and we'll check in with you later.